Is it working? Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the I Won't Be Around. No. What's the name of the EP? I'll Be Better Than EP, Director's Commentary by me, Mikkerj. Um, I don't have anything written down for this, so it might be kind of rambly and have lot of long pauses, but I'm just gonna talk about the EP a little bit in more detail, give you some lore, some background information, stuff like that, explain it a bit, get some things off my chest, I guess. So this is like my venting, like oversharing on main type of video. So it started out like I made it earlier in the summer, in like June, I think. Um, I just had like a demo for A Hole in My Heart. It was called Dopamine at the time, and I just had a demo for I Won't Be Around. It didn't have a name at the time, and yeah, I just made those, and I was like, okay, like they're kind of pretty. I like feel some emotion like in them, but it was kind of ambiguous. And I didn't really know what to do with them because I was like, I don't want to put out just like the one song. I want to like include these in like an EP or an album or something, but like I didn't really know where they would fit or what I wanted to say with them. So then I just kind of shelved them, worked on the album because it was a little less like emotional. Like it hasn't come out yet. Maybe if you're watching this in the future, the album's out. But yeah, that was just kind of like noisy banger Mikkerj type music, so it isn't as like emotionally significant. So I just worked on that as I was doing other stuff in summer. Um, Went to France, came back, went to like uh, therapy camp or whatever, like a 2 week inpatient program. Got SSRIs, and then came back to it. And like I was like I kind of finished the album, at least all the demos, and then I was like, okay, like I went up to Boston to see my friends, and it was like a 7 hour bus. So I was like, okay, why don't I like try to make something? Cooked up the Claire's lobotomy track in like 2 hours on the bus, at least the bulk of it. And then by that point, I already had like another piano demo, the Peaceful Day demo at that point. I was like, okay, um, cool. Maybe these four could be something. Cause the Claire's track kind of tied it all together. Cause I was like, wait, this kind of like it felt like a bridge in between the two first demos, and then it was like, okay, the piano one can be the separate sounding track. But then I was like, I was really getting strong like what's it called, end of the line EP vibes at this point, and I was um like okay, let me just lean into that. And so yeah, I kind of leaned into the ambiguity of the emotions, um and it kind of ended up being a bit more like unfocused than I think End of the Line EP, because I mean there was some for End of the Line, like it was kind of like a brain dump at the time of like last September, I think. And I was like, yeah, like I also worked on some of those over summer. Um Finished it up in the fall, was just kind of like dumping slash venting all my thoughts, feelings like onto music. And then um I was like, yeah, I just kind of and but I felt like those tracks were a little bit more um, focused. Like they kind of were more themed around specific things. Um, and I have an idea for an EP that I'm gonna work on after I finish the album. That's gonna be more like that. Like each song is kind of like about something specific, kind of a one feeling I'm trying to emulate in music. But I think for this one, for the what is the name of the EP I'm releasing? I'll be better than. Yeah, for I'll be better than EP. I was like, I'm kind of feeling a lot of things that kind of is not like an easily like explainable single topic kind of thing. I'm kind of feeling a lot of different conflicting things at once, and a lot of things that are like unrelated or related. I don't know. So, yeah. I was like, let me just lean into that, the ambiguity, and kind of just include a lot of different things that I don't know, and hopefully make something cohesive. And I think I did. I think I captured what I wanted to capture with this. When I think the plunderphonics approach of just like, I mean, one, the songs themselves are made out of a lot of different samples, but also they just have a lot of like different audio clips of like whatever slapped on. So I think that kind of helped the emulate that brain scatteredness, whatever. So yeah. Anyways, hole in my heart. Let me talk about that. Yeah. I took the like a TikTok song. Um, it reminded me of like Riptide by Vance Joy when I heard it. It's called Dopamine by whoever, I don't know. It's in the Bandcamp description of like what I sampled, but um, I was like, okay, I just took like the guitar section from the beginning, put it through Gross Beat, like the repeater. I've used that technique a lot recently. Um, on the album, you'll hear it a lot, and on the Sleeper album, that's coming out. I don't know when, but some of the demos for that definitely use it. This EP used it a lot. Um, yeah, just changes up the vibe. I like uh, repeated the guitar and then kind of chopped it up, picked the repeated sections that I liked, and then uh, yeah, and then sorry, getting distracted. Um, and then I kind of like messed with the pitch and like changed it so you couldn't recognize it as the as just like an obvious dopamine uh, sample. That's the name of the song. But yeah, and then I threw on some like girlfriend of the year drums, which actually, fun fact, are the same drums used in Fluorine. Um, so yeah, shout out girlfriend of the year, shout out Splice, my goats. Um, and yeah, so I had that at first. I just had the guitar and the drums, and then I was I had the sample, the TV girl sample. That's like, I hope we're still friends. Yeah, um, I had that on at first, and then I took a big break from the track, and then when I came back, then I just basically like structured it and added um, all the other things like the yeah. So I feel like the sample at the beginning is just like capturing depression generally, just feeling numb. The whole monologue from that show. I haven't seen the show, but like the monologue from the show is really. I feel like it really captures what depression feels like. Um, just not like feeling numb, not feeling like you feel anything, but also not kind of feeling just this pervasive emptiness. You wake up every day, and it feels like nothing you do really makes that much of a difference. It just kind of is like, again, like she says in the clip, like, again, really have to live another day again. Even when happy things happen, right after you're like, oh, all right, it's over. And back to this, like, I don't know, it feels like a constant, like, low, not necessarily a constant sad, but just a constant, like, low feeling, like nothing. And then some spikes, and then it, like, goes down to like, this very low, unpleasant level. Um, so yeah, there's that with the clip. Um, the little like dopamine vocal is just from the original song. Um, then I took Jane Remover. Shout out Jane Remover, my number one inspiration. Um, I took her vocals from Video, my favorite song from her new album. I only listened to the album like twice because I don't it's not like my taste necessarily. I think it's good, but like I really love the vocals on that and I wanted to like steal them for a while. So I felt like they fit on this track. Um these kind of sound pretty on it. Um what else? But yeah, I mean, as with all my music, Leroy, the Daria Core project is like just such a massive inspiration because it kind of opened my eyes to like how cool it is and how fun it is to work with mostly samples. and kind of having a very like a plunderphonics approach. Um, so yeah, that's very cool. But I mean, I like her new album. It census designated. It's cool. Um, I was listening to a lot of Jonathan Leindoer 96 and just feeling very inspired by how versatile he can be in his music and how this music is the Leindoer music is like um sorry, forgot what I was gonna say. It's like I don't know. It's like kind of like guitar music. I don't know what to call it, but like in a very cool way, and it has very like raw emotions that I don't really feel from other people. Like I like his voice. I love his writing style. How um like ambiguous and clashing his lyrics can be. Um, I don't know. Like Wooden Girl, my favorite song. But I've been listening to Rivers from Another Town a lot recently, and If I'm Born, I Have to Live. It's like these disparate ideas that are in the song, but they kind of form a complete picture, even though they don't necessarily like work together. They're kind of like isolated by themselves, but it, they all kind of are like loosely tangentially related. I don't know. I kind of wanted to capture that on this EP, but in my EP that I'm gonna write, it's very like I want to capture his writing style of just using specific like metaphors or specific imagery that kind of tells a narrative and tells a captures a feeling. But I mean, I tried to do that with the vocal clips a bit, but some of them were a bit on the nose, like the depression clip, where it's like, I'm so sad, like everything's sad all the time. So yeah. Okay, video two. But anyways, I don't know what I was saying, but yeah, the I hope we're still friends. Part yeah, I just been having some friendship difficulties lately. Not sure where stand with people, or just feeling like things have become weird. I won't name any names, but if I watch this ever again, I'll know who I'm talking about. But yeah, it was just kind of the feeling of I hope we're still friends. Like I hope things are okay. And yeah, um, that's kind of it. And then the end is like I watched the Frailty breakdown stream, um, and Jane was talking about like this one. I think she used the Blade "Be Nice to Me" like melody, and then the Edison Blur tool to make like a pad, and it was just kind of uh like used on every Frailty song. So I stole that, pitched it down, and just used it for the outro. Kind of cool, I guess. But one thing I like about this song is the drum rhythm. It's like has that kind of weird like the second kick in the pattern is like weird and kind of like hits funny. I don't know, but and okay, video three. Sorry, my mom came in. Yeah, I like the drum rhythm. Uh, I like the guitar. I kind of just listened to the loop on loop for a while the night that I made it, and was just like, yeah, it just like has a strong emotion, but I don't really know what it is necessarily. And when I listen to it now, I don't feel one thing. I just kind of feel a few different things. Just strong emotion. I don't know. But oh, also another fun fact: the intro clip, the I'm so sad whatever clip is was gonna be used on the last song of my album, but now that I use it here, I don't think I'm gonna use it again because I think the album's not really gonna have anything like serious to say, just fun, like fun for the love of making fun music. Um, yeah, but I think that's all I have to say about that track. I like it a lot. And moving on to Claire's Lobotomy, I made this. I was going up to Boston to see my friends, and it's like a 7 hour Flixbus or Peter Pan or whatever I took. So um, yeah, I kind of got really bored, and I was like, okay, let me cook something up, and I made the bulk of the song in like 2 hours. I take the song "Helplessness Blues" by Fleet Foxes, which I think is so beautiful. It's one of my favorite songs ever. Um, that song I really like. In and of itself, it really captures the meaning of just, I don't know, the struggle to do something meaningful. I think, which is always a theme with my music. Always something in my mind of like, you know, this is a hobby, it's fun, but also I do want to say something meaningful and capture the serious, important things in my life. Um, when I have the ability to, um, and the song, the Fleet Foxes song, it's kind of talking about what I take from it is that it's more, fighting against the machine and like being a part of the societal machine is not like worth it, but fighting I don't know. Fighting it can also be kind of fruitless. So it's really meaningful to just have like make an actual difference where you can. So I don't know, with people in your life and stuff. I've just been thinking about that a lot lately, how people are kind of the most like worthwhile thing for me, for my life, and I think for most people. Um I'll probably talk about that on the EP. I have an idea for that a song I could do for that. But anyways, yeah. So I just took the guitar, same thing, repeater, gross beat repeater, changed the pitch, put some delay on it probably, um, reverb maybe. I don't know. I don't use that many effects plugins. If you can't tell, my master chain for like the Mikkerj stuff is just like one wave shaper on like mixer channel one. Everything is routed to mixer channel one, and like that's it. So sorry, pneumonia. I got my minion here, so guest appearance. But um anyway, what was I saying? Some pneumonia. No. The song, yeah. So um it's cool. I like the beginning. Like the whole vibe of this song is kind of like I made the song before I had any of the voice clips. So the vibe of the song was kind of at first I was just making something that sounded cool, pretty. And then I added the voice clips and it kind of took on this vibe of like things are not that serious, but they actually kind of are like insanely serious. So it's like the mix between like I can't take myself that seriously. Like as you can see, I don't know, my Instagram story or whatever, or like the media I consume, the stuff I make, it like one day I'll make something that's like just completely unserious, fun, absurd, ridiculous, like I don't know. And then the next day it's like something super over dramatic and like meaningful to me. But like even with my own like struggles of mental health and whatever, it's kind of like I don't quite like the way I speak about it is very like unserious and kind of undermines the way that it actually is. Like if I don't know, kind of like LOL, I'm suicidal, LOL. That kind of vibe of like, you know, from my mixtape, the feeling dead inside, no hope, kind of that, where it's like when I talk with people who like get it, I'll like talk serious. I'm like, yeah, every day is a struggle. Like I would much rather be dead, almost all the time. But then when I talk about it like otherwise or like I don't know to myself, I'm like I don't like wallow in the like sadness of it. I don't know. Sometimes it just makes me uncomfortable to think about because like I internally know I'm like okay this is really 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 difficult, but like to say it I'm like cringe. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But that song is kind of capturing that where I'm like parts of it are like just blatantly like super serious like the Vune clip where it's like from Agoraphobia. Shout out Vune by the way. also like my number one inspiration. But yeah, from agoraphobia, where it's just like I don't go out much. I've been diagnosed with this and that. It's really difficult. Or like I don't know the Lane clip where she's like crying or that. But but then it's like the Vine, either kill yourself or get killed. Which also I got from the Vune's live action video. I got the she used that in there. So shout out Vune. But yeah, I took that and then like the Claire's thing. Um I got that idea when I was at Porter seeing Smile Tour. I don't know why. I also got the inspiration for the cover art with the one side suicide, one side heart at Porter because he has the visual that's like Russian roulette when he's like, and then it's like shoots out like red but also like hearts. So yeah, I did that. That was cool. I think I like it. And also the cover art very inspired by DJ Sabrina the teenage DJ, her old kind of like PC CD-ROM game type visuals, um, which I think is really cool. And then also obviously for Frailty cover art, like the add noise to image thing, very inspired by that. And just generally like a collage style because it's like all I know how to make because I don't know how to graphic design and I don't have the money to like commission people for art. So um, I don't know. Yeah. So that's that. That's kind of why the visual style went in that direction. But also I like the janky bootleggedness of like using like obviously like blatant clip art with the watermark still on it. I don't know. I just think it's funny. Uh, but yeah, the Claire's thing. I feel like the Claire's clip kind of ties it together. That unserious, super serious dichotomy, whatever. Um, but yeah. But a fun fact, a lot of the effects like the melody, the the kind of drone in the second half. The drone is like an extremely time stretched Baile Funk sample. Same with the melody. It's like a Baile Funk sample that sounds nothing like the melody, and I just took it and chopped it and like pitched it up and down and all that to make the melody. There's a lot of Baile Funk elements in that. I don't know why. I've been trying to make Baile Funk forever, but I can never get it right. But I like the samples a lot. They remind me of like the Jersey Club samples. And that they're just like super iconic, fun. I don't know, but they're cool. So I use that, and that's kind of all I have to say about that. I think, yeah, it's cool. The other one is oh, and then we get into like the lane portion, the lane pilled part where I use the lane clips that same clips that I used like four times before. I used it on Husk for like the who's me. I used the drone part on Husk. I used it on End of the Line EP as like a callback to Husk. Yeah, I only watched Lane once in like high school, so I don't like really remember it that much, but I just like the clips. I felt like I don't know. Jane said this on the Frailty Breakdown stream that she was like, "Yeah, I just used what I had on my computer." And that's kind of what I did. I was like, I don't want to download more stuff. I'll just use whatever voice clips I have on my computer. So I did that, and yeah. So I just had the lane thing. I was like, oh, this actually kind of works surprisingly. So yeah, track three is about um, it's what am I trying to say? Yeah, the first part of the clip I used before, but now it kind of has a different meaning. Where what I was talking about before, where she's talking about like who's me, am I real, am I here, am I there? I only exist inside other people who are aware of my existence. Like it's kind of more like literal in the show because she's like a entity god or whatever. I forget the lore, but like for at first it was kind of like depersonalization when I was struggling with that more so than I do now when I made Husk. But now it's more like kind of what I was saying of like I feel like I'm nobody without the people in my life. Like when people don't text me, I kind of am like, well, what do I do? Like, I'm always posting on my Instagram story like my life just so people can like perceive me. I mean, I don't like love being perceived, but I want like to always like be interacting with people to know that like they care. Uh, Kind of unhealthy, I think, but I feel like I don't have any purpose like by myself. Like the only reason I'm not dead is because of the people in my life, like high key. Um, my family, my friends, but yeah. So that's kind of that, and then it's like the yeah, whatever. The drop. I don't know what that's called in non EDM terms, but like yeah, that portion, and then the I'll just talk about the meaning first. Like then it gets to the part where it's like, what's the matter? You still think a body doesn't mean anything to you? And then she's like crying. That's like the part of the song, um, where it's like, you know, I don't know. I don't think anyone's gonna watch this, so I can say whatever because it's like really freaking long. Um, but yeah, that's kind of feeling like yeah, I feel like I don't mean anything, but then that would hurt other people. So that's kind of me perceiving other people as like they would say that, and then the crying is like I know what the crying means. It's but yeah, if I watch it back, but it's like a specific time. If you know, you know. Um, but yeah, and then the ending is kind of also related to that specific time, just feeling like mess everything up. There's not a lot of hope. Things are kind of broken beyond repair. Everything's like messed up. So, yeah, sad. Anyway, the song itself, the guitar is just like almost the same thing I did with the rest of the guitars, but this time it's just a splice guitar that I like time stretched and edited and like changed the pitch, repeated, all that to make something cool. Like what I do with these guitars is I like will like put it in like a repeated pattern, and then I'll like time stretch it on resample mode so it like changes the pitch, and then I'll like export that and then do it again, and then export that and do it again. So it's like at a pitch that like isn't even like like reachable by any other means. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I do that with all, like a lot of stuff though, just to get like interesting sounds and textures. So like I have no idea what the notes are or if they're like real notes or not. But yeah, I think it's cool. Drums are just splice. Um, the rest is kind of just splice like loops that I time stretch, change the pitch of, etc. Not a whole lot to say about the production, but I do like how it sounds. I think it's pretty. And that's that. The last song, Peaceful Day, is yeah, just splice piano that I same thing. Like did the I chopped it up a bunch, did like repeating patterns, made a melody out of it. So like the original sample sounds super different to what I have, which I'm proud of my ability to do that. I think it's cool. Um but yeah, then this song is kind of like the ending of like should I, you know? I won't. Don't worry. You don't have to like worry, but it's kind of just like yeah, it would be easier to, but at the same time, it's not necessarily feeling a relief. Like you're not gonna feel relief from your problems. You'll just like not exist in this world anymore. So I put this in the Bandcamp description, but nobody reads those. So it's kind of like, can you like without dying? Like, how do I feel that relief? Because like it would hurt everybody if I did it, and it's not even like gonna do the thing that I want it to, which is just like make me feel better or just not feel this, but like it wouldn't actually do that. So I won't do it, but this song is just kind of like that back and forth you go through with yourself. Um, yeah, I think that the title's ironically called Peaceful Day because the idea that it would be, I don't know, you'd be at peace when you do it, but you won't. So it's not a very peaceful song because there's like the crying clip, there's like all sorts of other stuff, the gunshots, whatever. So it's like, yeah, irony or whatever. But yeah, that's that. And it seems to not end on a happy note, but I'm doing okay now. I'm going to France soon for like 10 months. So it should be fun. But yeah, I don't think anyone watches this. This is more like a personal diary, whatever, for me. So um if anybody watched this, thank you cuz you're a real one for real cuz I know this is long and rambly and hard to follow. So it's like it's like 3 to 4 times the length of the actual EP, which is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, thanks for watching.